Hey builders, it's Jamie with Builderall Adventures. Today we're going to show you how to use contact forms. I'm a little late on this one as I've been working on a lot of client websites that have launches. This is actually one of them, so I figured I would do the tutorial on the contact form I'm making for this client. So down here what they want is they want to get an email from their customers about appointments and stuff like that. So throughout the page, there's lots of buttons where they can click to come to make an appointment. So here's the form, and basically the customer will fill this out, and when they click make an appointment, it will email my client. It'll email them directly, and then they can call this customer back to confirm the appointment and make any necessary changes. So we're going to recreate this real quick, and I'll show you how I did it. I've got a little bit of almost every type of element in here. There are some other ones that we'll go through, but we're going to recreate this and learn about forms. This is different from the lead capture. It's not email marketing. It's form, contact form. So it is a little different. The idea is the same, to collect information, but instead of going directly into an email list, this one comes directly to an email to you. All right, so let's do it. So first thing we're going to do is move this guy down. Give me some room to start with a new one. I'm going to come in here. And right down here, remember, we're looking at contact forms, not email marketing. Contact forms. So we'll click on contact. And you have a couple different options here. You can pick whichever one you want here. Once you put it there, you can change the look and feel of it anyway. So picking the difference here isn't going to be a big deal. Most of them have the same fields or about the same fields. So let's go with the one that I picked on here, I believe, was this one here. I don't know. Let's do a different one, though. Let's do this one. No, let's do this one. There we go. So we'll try this one. All right. So it's one contained item. You right-click to do everything with it. Okay. You don't click on any of these or change them here or on the button. Everything is done through the right-click menu. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch this out to fill up the page a little more. Alright, now first thing I want to do is figure out which fields I need. So I know I have them down here, so we'll talk about them. So we have first and last name, phone number, email address, year, make, and model of vehicle, any specials. They currently offer 3 specials, so we'll put their specials in a drop-down. The reason for the appointment, the preferred choice for the date and time twice for the appointment. For the date and the time for the appointment, there are two choices. And then, like I said, the client will call them back and let them know what's available around the times they requested. And then a button, obviously, to submit it all. Oh, and I forgot, we have a note down here as well. Sorry about that. Alright, so let's start here. So we already have first, last, email, and phone number. So that's these first 4. Let's go ahead and rearrange them like this, and then we'll add some new ones. Okay, so right-click, and you're going to go to Elements. Okay, these are the elements. This is a label, and this is where you actually enter the information, but each one of those is an element. So we're going to edit those 4 elements and add more. We will then work on Appearance, Button, and Configure. But let's start with what elements we need. So this is the element editor. At first it seems kind of weird, but it's actually really simple and really easy to work with. It's actually really straightforward. So you have different boxes. This one up here, you can move them up and down and move them around. But this one is a big container box, and inside of that you have another box that has the elements. So if I press the plus sign here, I will get another box next to this one and be able to move things right and left, as opposed to just up and down right now. Okay, so let's do that. Add a box. Maybe I'm lying. Oh, add a row. Check one more time. Well, usually when you click this plus, there we go. Got another one. I don't know what I was doing, but there we go. Alright, so first and last name. Now down here, you can still scroll around and see your page while you're doing stuff. So down here I have first and last, phone and email. Let's do it opposite. Let's do first and last next to each other, like so, and email and phone number, like so. Okay, so easy as that. Like I said, you can drag these around and move them however you want. It's actually really pretty easy and works pretty good. So there's those 4. I could put more in here, but I'm just going to split them up kind of like we have down here. Okay, so there's the first 4. If you want to delete one, you hit the little red minus sign. If you want to edit it or change any settings, then you go ahead and hit the little pen or pencil. Let's do that. So first name, let's take a look at the settings. So the first thing we have is the tag, fname. You can change this. I would leave fname as it is, but you can change these to whatever you want. But these are what you could refer to in other settings. Okay, you might be familiar with it from Mailing Boss if you used it. If not, they both have tags for slightly different purposes. Visible label. Do you want the label to be visible? Right here where it says first name, that's the label. You can either have it visible or you can have it not visible. So now I just turned it off. Sometimes, you know, you want them. Sometimes what's inside is enough. It's up to you. For right now, I'm going to leave them visible. And the first label is first name. I'm going to leave it as first name. Some people want to put like colons in there. Sometimes I do that. As you can see down here, I have colons. For up here, I'm going to leave the colons off and see how it looks. Placeholder field. That's what's actually inside the field right here where it says first name. So that also says first name. You could also put enter first name here or first name ... or, you know, whatever you want. For right now, I'm going to leave it as it is. Is it a required field or not? Yes or no? Yes, this is, so I'm going to leave it. And is there a certain type of mask you'd like to apply to this data? Such as if it was numbers or something, you could apply a date or a phone number to it. And you can see that here. So you've got some date and time ones, some different types of numbers, some phone numbers and such, and percentage and decimals. So you can force mainly it's for numbers. You can force them into times or dates or other things. For right now, we don't need one for this. It's just first name. And then if you want, you can have a little extra help text below it that will show right here. And I'll show you what that looks like. Confirm. All right, so now you can see the label, the field, what's in the field to start with, and the help note right here. So I'm going to edit it and take the help note back off and confirm, and we're back. So first name, last name, email, and phone number. All right, so let's look at the email one. So email, now label field, pretty much everything is the same. It's just a couple different options here. Okay, confirm. Last name's the same, and then phone number, let's look at that. Okay, so phone number is a little different. Because it's a number, it's got some extra things we can do. You still have the visibility, you still have tags, you still have the label field and the placeholder and whether it's required and the help, but you have a couple things over here. You now have an initial value, a minimum value, a maximum value, and an interval, how you want it to change. So right now, because it's a phone number, I'm going to make the initial value nothing. I'm going to make the minimum value 1 and the maximum value lots. What is it, 10 digits for a phone number? I think that's right. And we're going to have it changed by 1, sure. Confirm. Let's see. All right, we'll try that when we play with it. Let's see. Let's confirm that to save all these changes. Not really to save it to the site, but just to save the settings in this elements in this this panel. Boom. Okay, so now you can see it's moved it around the way we wanted it. First name, last name, email, phone number. Let's go ahead and preview it. Good. Kind of like these colors. So when the one that's selected, it stays blue, and the others have hover. I like to look and see how the text looks. So right now, with the tabs the way it is, I went from first name right to email. So that's kind of awkward. So I'll either have to figure out how to fix the tabbing, which I'll look at, or I'll move these back the way I have them down here so that it works better that way. I'm guessing it's like in order of creation, or it's going to be maybe top down, left to right. Well, I'll have to look into it. In the meantime, I'm not going to actually fill all this out. I'm just going to fill out 2 over here. Okay, cool. It won't do anything yet because I have not set it up to do something and because I didn't fill out all the forms. So you can see it does have a little bit of error control, let you know when you haven't filled something out. This one. And then, see, it's a phone number, so it's silly to have this, but There is another way we can do this, which I'll show you down here. As you see, this one doesn't have that, and it also, yeah, I just made this one a text one instead, instead of an actual number. I kind of like that better. I think it's kind of silly to have these here, so I'll probably change this one. Let's go do that now. So that also allows me to show you that you can edit the type of an element. So I'm going to come in here, we're going to edit the phone number, and then on here you can see change type. Right now it's a num, and I am going to change it. So here's our options. We have text field, which is what first name is. We have a password field. We have a URL field, an email field. The main difference between these is a lot of them will have a special masking already built in and have some extra options that you can do with them. Date field, this is a text box instead of like just a field, but a big text like a message box. Drop field, drop down, checkbox, radio, number field, range field, and a hidden. I'm not sure what the hidden is for. I used it to space some things out, but I'll have to look into it. I'm guessing we can do something else with it, more valuable. Anyway, for now I'm going to change this to a text field. It's still going to use the same tag. I'm still going to leave all the same stuff here. Except for this, I'm going to tell it, let's make it look like a phone number. Okay. Confirm. Alright, confirm again. Let's actually, before we go and preview it again, let's go ahead and put this the way we had it down below. Let's see, we have phone number on top. Okay, preview. Alright, so now, when I tab, it goes down to last name, kind of what you would expect. Then it comes over to the phone number. And okay, it didn't force the phone number, so let's go look at that. Save it. It might be one of those settings that needs to be saved before it takes effect. I'll have to look into that one. In the meantime, let's add the other fields and keep moving on here so you can see the rest of the elements and how to configure the buttons and everything else. Alright, so first let's go ahead and add the other elements. So we still need a year, make, and model, and a specials. So let's start with those. I've already got a box here, we'll add them to. So we'll hit the plus sign to add an element. This first one is just a text, year, make, and model, so text field. Input, let's do vehicle. That's our tag. Label field is going to say year, make, and model. Placeholder field, let's make it say the same thing. Just copy and paste it. Yes, it's required. No masking. I don't think we need any help. It's pretty clear what we're looking for here. So let's confirm that. Okay, so there's our year, make, and model. Very similar to this one down here. Now over here, we're going to hit the plus sign again to add a new element here. If we wanted to add an element above or below this one, we'd hit the plus sign here. But we're going to go over here and we're going to do the specials one. Okay, so specials is a drop-down field. Alright, so here's your options. On the left, it's the same ones you're used to already. You got your tag, your visibility, your labels, your placeholders, whether it's required or not. In this one, whether you allow multiple choice or not. So let's allow it this time. I didn't allow it down there, but maybe I'll change that. And then over here, you can configure your options. Okay, so the first one is what they will see. The second one is what you will see in the email. So I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. So for what we did on the car shop down here, we did $59.95. I think it's a synthetic oil change. And then over here, I'm just going to put oil change. Special. Down here they had, let's do free brake and belt inspection. And over here it'll just be brake inspection. And then let's add one more. So we got a little add up here, and they had a 39. Oops. What was the other one? Let's go look. So I'm going to save that, and then down here I'm going to edit this specials. Okay, so they had the 59 synthetic, the 39.95 car care package. That's what it was. Okay. So let's go back up there. So you can see right here it shows them. This is a little different format here. Elements. Okay. 39.95 car care package. This is car care package. Okay. Okay, so it changed it to this look because of the multiple choice. So I imagine that when we preview this, we can select multiple. Yep, okay. So you use Shift. So if you select one, you'll see one there, but if you hold down Shift, you can select more than one, or Control. So I'm going to say these two. Interesting. So that's something I can talk to the client about, see if they'd rather have a multiple choice like that, or just a straight drop-down box for the main thing. For right now, I'm going to leave that multiple choice, and we'll move on to the next part. Alright, so a couple more elements, and then we'll mess around with some of the other settings. So what else do we need here? We need a reason for appointment, and then the dates and times. Alright, so we're going to add a row. That gives us another one of these boxes, a row box, okay? We're going to add a row. And this one, we're only going to use one column. So I'm going to get rid of one of these. And now we just have the one. I'm going to add an element in there. And this is going to be that text box I told you about. Okay, so text area, visible text area, enter text here. So this is going to be, what do we have done here? Okay, label. Reason for. And this one I'm just going to use the same for both of these. Required, yes. Field height. So this is how many. I don't know height field. I know that down below I used 100, so this is 100. So let's do 150 on this one, make it a little bigger. Okay, so there's our reason for appointment. Now we're going to add another row. There we go. And I'm going to leave it on 2 this time because we do want to split it up. And on this first side, we're going to do a date field. Visible, date, placeholder, required, yes. Okay. So we don't have to do much there. Oh, since we're allowing for first or second, let me go in there and edit that. And then we're going to add the second date, or actually, let's do the time this time down here. So for the time, you have a couple different options you can do. There's some masking and stuff, but time is a tough one for people sometimes to force them to do a certain way. So I personally am probably just going to use a text field here and just put time, first choice. Is required. So I could try to, force them into one of these, but I really would rather not do that. The shop is only open from 6 to, it's not open on the same hours. It's in a 12-hour window where it's not a big deal. We're going to know exactly what time. If they say 6:30, we're going to know. So I'm not going to force it. I could put a little help in there, that says use this format or don't forget AM, PM. But for right now, I'm just going to leave it like this and see how it goes, basically. I could put in placeholder. I could put like put that in there to give them an idea of what we're looking for or how to do it, but it's not set in stone. The client is not worried about it. They'll get the idea and they're going to call them to confirm any of it anyway. So over here we'll do similar. We'll do another date field. And a time field. Okay, let's take a look at that. Okay, so it's running onto the other one. So I've got some space here. I can just move these things down. Oops, keep doing that. But remember, you can also, once we get the right one selected, you can move it down by this thing, which is the easiest way to do most of the time. You can do it other way as well, depending on what you've got there. So go ahead and move this. Okay. All right, so let's see. We've got all of the elements. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I don't like the button says get instant access. Okay, so they want make appointment or make an appointment. So let's go ahead and change the button. So you get two options for the button: the text, and you can add an icon. So make an appointment. And we're going to add an icon. We're going to select the icon right here. And I'm going to search for car. Okay, so we have a couple of car type things. Confirm. We can select the position as far as the text goes. So this time let's put it in the left of the text. Last time I put it on the right, but we're going to do left this time. I don't know about the size yet until I see it, so we're going to go ahead and just say OK and see how it looks like, and then we'll go from there. Okay, not bad. Let's see if I can see if this has any effect. If I put a couple spaces there. Yep, it does. Cool. So I wanted to space it out from the car a little bit. So I like that. That looks good. You know what? Just to see, let's see. Let's change the color to the blue that the website uses. Confirm. And then to make this text blue, remember in the button you only have those two options, but we have full control over this button as well, the formatting and everything. So to do that, we're going to go into Appearance. Okay, so under Appearance you can move across these and see a couple of the different examples. See, there's the one I used on the other one, that design, or that with the shadows and everything. You get this one. So this is the one we're on. We're going to edit that one. So the little cog over here is how you edit the styles. And then you've got your three options here. You've got your label styles, your field styles, and the button. So let's start with the button because that's what we're working on. Okay, so the background of the button is that blue right there. The label color is white. Let's go ahead and change that to the blue as well. So now it matches the car. Now background hover color. So when they hover over this, what color? Right now I'm guessing that's transparent since it doesn't change. And the same with the label color. So we'll leave those how they are for right now. Well, let's make it so that the label turns white when we hover. We'll try this. Let's see what happens. Button alignment, left, under the form, it's under the form. The rounding of the corners, you see the rounded. You can do that anywhere from 0 to 100. If you want a border there, you can turn it on, different types of border, and then the size and the color of the border. If you want a shadow, you can add a shadow and such. I'm going to leave that off for now. Space from the top, how much room you want between these. Let's go ahead and give it a little more. Right there. The size, so right now it's on percentage of the form, and then you also have the height of it. One thing is up here where we have left, let's go ahead and make that central. And then let's go ahead and make the height. Keep it small, but I want it. Well, there we go. That's what I want. There. Let's take a look at what we got so far. All right, so here's all of our stuff. Looking good. Looking good. Yep. So the text and the background goes white, so the hover does work. I've got to make it so we can see it, but it does work. I just want to make sure. I don't know. Can we control the hover of the car icon? Let's check. We can. Let's make that white. Confirm. We're going to go back into Appearance, back into Edit, back into the button, and the background button, we're not going to make that white when they hover. We're going to make that a slightly different blue. And the label color, that we're going to leave white. Okay, let's see how it looks now. All right, I kind of like those blues. Anyway, this is the contact form. The last thing that's left is to set it up to email you this information. So let's do that. All right, so we already did elements to get all of these, button to change the button, and appearance for colors and shadow and stuff like that, fonts. All right, let me show you the other two things in appearance real quick before we move on. There's also the label styles where you can actually change the font and the size. So let's do that. Let's change the size down. You see all of them. Here we go. I like Able. I like that font there. Let's leave that. We can bold or italicize. We can change the color. So those ones I'm going to save how they... Actually, let's make those bold. Yeah, there we go. And then let's take a look at the field styles. So that's the stuff that's inside the field here. So again, we got the font. Let's make these smaller as well. Colors are fine. Spacing. Height. So let's change the height. See how they're pretty thick? Let's make them a little smaller. There. See, so now they're all much smaller. The field spacing, so it's the spacing between the fields. Let's make that less. The height. Right there. And don't think we need a shadow on these fields. And I don't need to change the rounding. They look fine. So that's good. Preview it. All right. I don't know. I kind of like them a little fatter than they are, but for right now, I'm okay with it. Real quick, let me show you how a couple of these fields work, and then we will do the email. So you already saw me fill these ones in. This is just a text box. These I can select all three, or just two of them, or one of them. This is a text box. Blah, blah, blah. That blue might be a little tough to read while you're doing it, so I'll probably change that. In the meantime, date. So you can either type in the date, or you can do, 10/22, 2017. But you can also click on the little arrow here and get a calendar. We'll say, or November 1st. And the time, remember we just did this as text, so I can do 11:30 a.m. And then on this one, they want 7 a.m. Okay. It's telling me, hey, you can't push the button, but I don't want to right now anyway because we haven't set it up to do what we want to do. I keep seeing the little car up here. I forgot about that. That's a scroll animation. There's another tutorial for that. Anyway, let's go ahead and set up the email. Everything else is good. Let's change the background color as well because that is kind of hard to read when you've got something selected. Yeah. So let's go back and change the color and set up the email. So to change the color, we're going back into Appearance. We're going to edit it. And this is going to be, it's the blue we're talking about. That's the fields. So where is that? It's a hover, isn't it? Let's see. Where is it? Let's see. Background color hover. Okay, let's change it here. Let's make it a light blue just to see. Let's try that. Background color white, placeholder color. Let's see if that does it. There we go. Much easier to read. I like that. So now when you're typing, yeah, you can see what you're typing. All right, cool. So I like the colors. I like that color. Let's go ahead and set it up to email. So we're going to right click and we're going to say configure. There's a couple different ways. Right now I'm going to show you how to do the email response. I'll probably do this one in another one, but it's a different standard of information transfer with using post and get. We're just going to do the email one. I prefer nowadays. So you're going to come over here and you're going to click edit. So here's your options. Where do you want the email to go? So I'm going to put my email in there for now. And you can do multiple. You can do a comma and have it go to multiple email addresses if you want multiple people or groups of emails to get the email. What do you want the subject to be? For this one, I'm going to do Carcraft appointment request. If you're doing coupons, I think this is mainly for like Amazon and the new coupon generator, but you can do that over here. I'm not going to use this. I'm not sure how to use this, to be honest, but it is there. In the meantime, action taken after they submit. So what I want to do is once they submit the homepage or for the appointment, I'm going to have it go ahead and go to the home page. You have 4 options. You can have it download a document. Okay, so they could click that. It would submit it to the email, but then it also get a document. You can also have it open up a pop-up or go to a web address or to a page on this site. We're going to do a page on this site. So we're going to click page, and then we're going to go home. This page, look at this website. Quite a few pages I've had to do on here. So we're going to go home, and we're going to have it open in the same tab. You could do a new tab, but we're going to have it stay in the same tab. Sorry about that. That's my daughter getting some toys out of a toy box. All right, so we're going to say same tab. And then down here, edit automatic message. This is an automatic message that will email to the person who's clicking the submit. Okay, so when they click submit, it's going to email you this information, but then you can also have this email them something. So if you click on that, an actual editor comes up where you can type in an email and do all the stuff you want to do with colors and all that. You can have links and everything. You can use the tags we talked about earlier that we used in all of these different things. So you can actually use those tags in an email back to them. So you can refer to them by name. You can refer to their email or their car. You can actually refer to all the stuff you're collecting and send an email to them as well. After you pick confirm, it will obviously email them the email they put. And we're not going to do an automatic message, so we're just going to leave that empty and we're going to confirm. Okay, the last thing you want to do is we do want to not just go to the home page, but we want to let them know that we got the submission, that it worked. So you do that with this little set success message down here. If you click on that, you can write it here. So you can say, thank you for scheduling an appointment. We have received your information and will call you to confirm dates and times shortly. Okay, so let's save that. Okay, let's see if we can do it in the preview. See if we can see it work. Now let me be somebody else today. If you don't know, you can use a plus and numbers or anything in an email at Gmail. As long as you put it anywhere before the @Gmail, you can do that. It'll still go to the Pearson. This will go to pearson.jamie@gmail.com, even though I put those numbers in there. But I can do that to treat them as different unique emails. It's great for testing, lead capture, and other things. So it's also good to help with spam. If you're going to join up under somebody and you're not sure if you trust them or something, you can put a number here. And then when you get emails, you can see that you got emails to that number, and you can see if they sold your email or they're spamming you. You can track it better. and unsubscribe and stuff like that. So use those. They're very handy. Year, make, and model. We'll do 2009 Mazda CRX. We want a car care package, and the left wheel is wobbly. Okay, probably have a lot more information. Usually, I'm going to go ahead and pick a date here. Oh, I guess I should pick dates that haven't happened yet. Okay. All right, did we get everything filled in? I think so. Let's see what happens. So no errors. It's not telling us no, so that's good. So I think it works. Let's go ahead and save it and do an actual live test to make sure. Okay, so we want to go to appointments. Here's the actual live one. Here's the other one. Look at that. Now it's using it's forcing it. So some of the things you can't force in the preview, but when you go live, they are. One thing I noticed is my lighter color is not there. I don't know if that save has actually happened yet, so it might just take a little bit before that happens. But for now, I'm going to continue on so we can see if the email part works. That part might not be saved yet either, though, so we'll see. All right, let's see if it works. Might not be ready yet, but let's find out. Cannot send message. Reason, destination email was not set. Let's go back into our editor and double check and see if it's just a save issue or something else. Configure, edit. Here's no change. Okay, so that's good. That's good. Okay, so I think it's fine. I think it just, let's double check that this is there. Yeah, that's good. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to refresh this and fill it in again, but we got to make sure it works right. Okay, so now the light colors are there, so I think we'll be okay now. Let's try it one more time. I'll use smaller things. I do like the light blue, it's much better. Okay. Moment of truth. Thank you for scheduling an appointment. We have received your information and we'll call you to confirm dates and times shortly. Okay, so when we close this, you can see it already brought us, we're at the home page now. Okay, so it said successful and it sent us to the home page. Let's see if we have an email. Look at that, there it is. All right, CarCraft appointment request. Shows the email that they put in, the subject we said. When you open it up, we have all the information. It lets you know what site each one came from. I'm not sure if you need to do that, or I guess if you're collecting information from different sites, but I'm not sure how that would work. But all the information we care about and the tags or the labels are right here. It's got everything in there. The drop down, instead of showing what they did, it shows what we told it to, oil change special. Awesome. So there's one thing I noticed, and that is the text for the time. I didn't change the label, so that both of them are using the same label right here. It still kept both pieces of data, it appended it, but they're both in the one. So let's go fix that, and then I will let you guys go. So to do that, we're going to go back into the elements, and we're going to go find, it was the times, right? Yeah, so this first one, so the tag is input text. So I'm going to change that to input time 1. Confirm. And this one, which also says input text, which is why they're both in the same place. It's good to know if you want to append data that it will collect both and won't overwrite and get rid of it. I think that, yeah, I like that. That's a good thing. Confirm, confirm, save. Okay. I believe that's it for the contact forms. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will try to do my best to answer them. If there's anything else you want to see, let me know, and I'll do another one, or a specific element you want me to work more on. We didn't show you every single element, so if there happens to be one that you really want to know more about, let me know, and I'll do it. If you want to see some checkboxes or something else, I'm happy to do so. All right, have a great day.